Hey, how's it going? It's Sophia here from Zen Guidance. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's pick a card reading. So in this reading we're going to be looking at will you meet again? So this could be for those of you that have been speaking to somebody maybe online or someone you've not been able to actually meet up in person as of yet. So to see if this is really going to go anywhere or whether you're actually going to get the chance to meet in person, or for those of you that have already met this person, are you going to be able to meet them again? Let's find out. We have group 1, 2, and then 3. So go ahead and make your choice. Feel free to pause the video here if you like and take a few moments to relax and really tune in to your body's intuition and let your gut instinct guide you to the pile that is for you. And once you've made your choice, you can go to the description box below where you'll find the corresponding timestamps to your chosen pile. And just remember that this reading is timeless, so whenever you feel drawn to this reading is when it's meant for you. Okay, so let's get started with group number 1. Okay, so for those of you who chose group number 1 and the lily leaf, let's see, or the lily petal rather. Will you meet again? Will you meet full stop? Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. So the corresponding signs are Libra, Aquarius and Gemini, being lots of air. So you may have a lot of air in your chart, they could as well. But this certainly shows a time when things were very dark. Mentally, it felt like you were drained in this connection. Again, this could be this other person's energy, but it just feels very heavy. But because it's in reverse, this shows that this is in the past, or this is presently going to be let go of, I can see. 9 of Pentacles. Okay, this is single energy. So I'm feeling like you're either single at this moment, you're just wanting to see if things are going to go any further. Okay, so we do have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. There certainly could be some history here, I feel, because it's almost like there's this is an unfinished story. I'm feeling like this energy over here that there's history that's not sort of being shown. So it may even be hidden. I don't know, this even could be a secret relationship for some of you. But this does show that there's a cycle and it seems to be going backwards rather than forwards. So yeah, there's definitely some back and forth energy here. But this does show strength, okay? And Pentacle energy is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So it's very grounded energy. It's a sense of working hard and feeling more secure and feeling like you have your future ahead of you. But in terms of relationship energy, it's more about being single. There's not a lot of unity here. But I'm going to have to pull some more cards to see what's really going on, because the fact that the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, it means it's going backwards. So there may be a karmic lesson that hasn't been learned yet. So you need to come back together to work through that in some way. But it also could be that, you know, things are not turning in your favor in a positive sense. But let's take a look. Okay, these two for sure want to be out. Okay, so we have strategy in reverse and yeah, walking away in reverse. So there's definitely a lot of emotions attached to this situation with this person. It's like you've put your eggs in one basket is what I'm hearing. Okay, so it's like this person is your barometer for the perfect person or the person you wish to be with, or even just the connection, you wish to share that connection, but you feel like you won't be able to get it with someone else, okay? Because there's definitely emotional ties and things like you're not ready to walk away from this connection yet. But I do feel there may be a bit of over strategizing as well, taking things to a bit of an extreme within your mind and trying to control things a little bit too much, trying to make things happen in a time frame or in the way that you want them to work. But I am hearing that you need to let go of control. Let things fall, you know, let things happen in divine timing, let the cards fall where they may. There's definitely a level of trying to control things. Okay. Oh. Balance, spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. So you could be Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury. You could have nodal placements there too. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Yes, all this mutable energy, things being very flexible. But I am sensing that you actually have more power in this than you realize, and that nothing is set in stone. So things are definitely shifting, and I do feel that this situation could change if you're able to change your energy outputs. Emotions are running high, supermoon. Yeah, it's like you're very emotionally charged to this situation, and when it goes down into a negative spiral, especially if you're not with this person and you're seeking to meet them, it's almost creating this barrier of resistance. And you know, you may be a very spiritual person. I'm definitely getting a lot of spirituality come through here, and a lot of water dominant signs. So you're very sensitive and empathic. So you may be connecting with them on a telepathic level and an energetic level in more ways than you realize, even through your dreams. I definitely feel like there's a sense you're dreaming about each other and you're connecting somehow within your dreams, maybe even sort of astral projecting and meeting in that realm. But I am sensing as well that there is a past life connection with you, but there's some sort of bond that you shared in another life, and it did replicate this sort of haphazard, emotionally charged energy in the same way. And I feel like that's something that you're being called to work through more so in this life, and to actually feel like you've healed and you've grown and evolved from this, because I feel in your past life this really sunk you and you weren't able to almost pull back from this, and it really damaged you in moving into the future. So I feel like in this life, this is like your chance now to really get this under your control and just work on what you can control rather than what you can't control. But you are very spiritually aware and in tune, and if you're not feeling in tune, then that's something I feel you're being called to as well. You know, maybe you read tarot, or if you watch a lot of these picker cards, sometimes that can go into overdrive as well, and you could be doing that too much, and sometimes it can end up being detrimental because it means something is out of balance. I'm seeing temperance in reverse here, just in my mind, and it's a sense of things not feeling equal, and there's a sense of no equilibrium within yourself and your body. There's got to be a balance in every part of your life, and if you're putting too much focus and energy and attention into one area, then the other areas of your life are going to suffer. So that's definitely a sense I think you need to come to a place more of grounding. And I do feel that you're getting there. This is looking more positive because, again, you know, a lot of this energy is in the past. So I feel like you've worked through a lot, and you are getting to a place where you're feeling much more confident and secure in yourself, and not needing other people's validation to make you feel secure or feel like you have self-esteem and that your cups are full rather than being empty. So you've certainly done a lot of work, but there is still some kind of attachment here that needs to be let go of. And you know, I feel like that's what you're being called to do here. So getting back to will you meet? But at the same, you know, there's a reason why I've been called and to say what I've said, and the cards that have come out. I feel like you need to hear this if you want the best possible chance of actually getting them back, or getting a chance to meet them full stop, or meet them again. But like I said, there's definitely an energy of you've known this person before. If you haven't actually met this person in this life, you certainly did in the past. So that's why you may be feeling such a strong connection. And that may even be confusing you if this isn't someone that you've actually met in person, and thinking, am I crazy for feeling this way about this person? Or even if it was just once, it's no, you're not crazy, because you have a divine spiritual connection. So there is a reason you were guided to meet them, but even if it was just for the once, there's some kind of awakening that was needed here, an involvement in your spiritual sense and practice. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. Father of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, group one. Being honest, this does look like unstable energy. So I do feel like there is a chance you will meet again, or you will meet, but I feel like it may be a little while away yet. I just feel like there's a sense this person isn't feeling ready, And I feel like the universe is telling you that almost you're not ready either for this person, or that there is something else out there, because there is this sense of neediness here. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed, which is the same card as here. So there's definitely one person's energy is more feeling independent, and I do feel like that is you. So I'm sensing that this person here is a little more codependent and in need of something, and they haven't worked on themselves yet. They're almost trying to process what's happened. They may have been going through a breakup or some kind of a change in their life or upset, and they're feeling like, their wishes are never going to come true. They're feeling quite pessimistic at this moment in time. But then I do see this energy of moving back forwards, but very slowly, but also focusing on work and material gains. But yeah, all of these sword energy, it's like both of you are also quite guarded, I almost see this kind of stalking of one another, possibly on social media, or just kind of thinking about one another. And, tarot can class as stalking, if you like, as well. Looking very in depth about what's going on with them and how they're feeling. So I definitely feel like that energy is reciprocated though. So if that's your energy as well, I feel like they're doing the same thing. They're either checking up on you, they're thinking about you, but they're not making any moves, and it's like you get to this point of a stalemate, and neither of you are actually moving forwards or making any effort, and then it just feels like it's a struggle to get things moving. But I wouldn't say it's a definite no. I definitely wouldn't say that. I do feel like there is a chance you will meet again. Okay, wow, look what we have. We've got toxic. Again, this could be the energy of your connection, but it could also be something that they've experienced or you've experienced in your past relationships, trying to work through that. Travel, it could be a long distance relationship, but also then with the third house, that represents short distances. So maybe you only live, a couple blocks away, a town away, or maybe you live a bit further, but there's definitely an element of travel here, or not being, oh yeah, there we go, and we've got, that's crazy, how many houses we've got. Ninth house is the house of long distance travel, Sagittarius. We've got Mercury, which is Virgo and Gemini. Get ready. Seventh house is relationships, which is Venus and Libra. Breakthrough. Be silent. Soulmate. Okay, so this could be a soulmate connection for you. Like I said, it's definitely a connection where you've known each other and it's more special than I feel like either of you have either experienced. It's just something about it draws you to one another, and the sense says get ready. So get ready, because something's happening here. There is something that's stirring, but at the moment there needs to be silence. You need to remain silent and just let them come to you, is what I'm hearing. Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. There we go, letting go of those ruminating negative thought cycles. The things that have been holding you back, the worry, the insecurity, the over-strategizing. It's time to let that go and just feel more calm in the knowing that everything is working out in divine timing for you. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Amazing. Emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. Okay, so definitely this is all making sense here, and I hope it is for you guys. I hope this is all making sense. But this emotionally charged energy, so you may be someone that's very expressive in your emotions, maybe not necessarily to other people, but even to yourself. When you're alone, you're able to really feel, and whether you're very expressive in the sense you cry and it's like turning on a tap and tears just flood out of you, or you will sit there, watch some films or journal or something that sort of really gets you in that zone of just feeling those real highs of emotions, whatever that means for you, in expressing them. And like I said, you may express them through music, through art, but try to make sure that you are expressing them through positive ways, because a lot of the time, you know, negative habits, something that you might do that you would rather not do, is a way of you expressing your emotions. Especially if you are blocking them or you're pushing them down, you're not acknowledging them, they'll start to manifest in other ways. You know, I feel like there's a lot of worry as well, and dwelling and going back to the past and thinking about the negative things and staying there sometimes a little too long, but then also worrying about the future. But if you bring it into the present moment, if you actually think in this very moment right now, what problems do you have in this moment? You know, you're sat here, you're watching a video, you're alive, you're able to connect to the internet, you're able to, you have a phone or some device where you're able to watch this. So, you know, you're alive. You're alive, and that's sometimes the fundamental thing we need to remember, is that we are able to be here every day. And you know, sometimes that's hard when you've been in a place of depression. Sometimes you don't even want to be here. But I feel like you've really come through this dark period, and you're feeling, you can see the light now, and you can see the good in every day. You can see the good in people. And I feel sometimes you may need to remind yourself of that, to always try to see the positive. There's always going to be a negative, but where are you going to put your focus and attention to? Okay, are you able to distract yourself from the negative thoughts and then the encumbersome negative emotions and actions that you then take? Okay, especially, you know, even if it's emotional eating, if you're sat there and you're mindlessly eating, going back and forth, and you're not really focusing and enjoying the food, it's literally filling a hole, it's filling that gap. And it's a moment where you're not thinking about something. It's a moment that you're pushing something down. But if you take some time to acknowledge it and process that in the way that you feel you need to, you won't feel the same urges. You know, the urges will get less and less, and you can retrain yourself. It is more than possible. We humans are incredible, and we have so much adaptability, and we are so much more capable of change than we give ourselves credit for. And almost the way that we have been taught, the way we've been taught through school, through the media, we have been taught to feel like we need to rely so much on other people and other ways of being, rather than actually being more in tune with ourselves and realizing that we actually can change. And I'm not going to go into this too much, but in amazing ways, physical ways, emotional ways, mental ways, to be able to control our mind far more than we give ourselves credit for. So I feel like you have a lot of control there, or a lot of potential for control. It's just being able to have that drive to the want, and also that inner knowing and confidence that you can achieve. You can get that. You can achieve that. Okay, so last couple of cards. Abundance. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want. Gratitude. Bliss. Yep, and especially with all that Pisces energy, Pisces are one of the best at being able to manifest, because they have such vivid imaginations, and the more they it's magnetic. Once you attract to one good thing, you just keep attracting more and more. So if that's the life you're used to, you'll just keep attracting that, because you're used to being in that state, if that makes sense. Okay, okay, so we have stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, and shocking attack. Yeah, I'm feeling this is very much a past energy, more so like how you were feeling, how things affected you in the past, and almost like the bubble burst. Mirroring each other, self-image, relationships reflect on wounds and introspection. Yeah, what did I say earlier? You're definitely mirroring each other in the way that you're thinking and feeling, but like I do feel that you are a little bit further ahead in the evolvement process in terms of their emotional well-being and the mental well-being. I think you're much more in tune than they are at this point. Not to say that they won't get there, but I think that you introspect. Maybe you introspect maybe a little too much at times. Sometimes it's good to put your focus onto something external, because again, it's about having balance. If you focus too much on yourself, then that's going to cause some blockages. But so it's having that equal, again, balance, looking after yourself, of course, always, but also making sure that you're focusing on other external things like family, friends, pets, plants, you know, flowers, even cleaning, or, you know, whatever it might be, work, charity work, or, you know, something that you feel good about that is not necessarily for you, if that makes sense. Okay, and then we have, we have seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party influence, addiction, codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, has a block, or restraint. Yes, this is definitely the energy of this twin flame soulmate. I feel like it's more twin flame, but it just feels, it could have started at work, it could have started as an affair on either side. It could be a third-party influence. You know, the sense of stabbing in the back. There was some level of deceit or something, whether that was with this person or this, again, could be past situation or on their side, but it's definitely something that is affecting your connection. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming through. But again, this shows this codependent, the obsessive, again, going round and round and round. You're definitely mirroring each other in so many ways. So if you're wondering how they're feeling, it's very similar to you, actually. You know, they're ruminating a lot, they're overthinking. But I do feel like there is an influence of, you know, some something flirtatious that may happen even through your work. It could be with somebody else, but yeah, it might be something, you know, if you do work together, there could be something actually that transpires. If you were thinking about meeting up outside of work, or yeah, there's definitely something, or you even come together to work on something. It may not even be that you meet up specifically for a date as such, but you may come together on a work project, and then flirtatious behavior then happens, because we do have the abundance here. Keep a positive mindset, you know, manifest what you want, gratitude and bliss. But this also makes me feel, coming back to that mutable energy I was talking about earlier, and again the Pisces energy, manifesting. So I do feel like you could turn this situation around. You could meet this person if you really want to. You have that power within you, but you have to work on your manifestation and make sure that you are letting it go, because that is equally as important as the manifestation itself. The manifestation will not work or connect, or it will certainly be limited and will take longer to come to fruition if you are thinking about it all the time. You need to set it and then forget it. Make sure you just let it go and then watch how it comes in. Okay, so I do hope that resonated for you, group 1, and if it did, please let me know down in the comments below, and please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. And if you are new here and you did enjoy this video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a new reading. Okay, have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. Okay, so for those of you who chose group number 2 and the lovely white flower, let's see, will you meet or meet again? I don't know why I moved the flower, I usually keep it there. Okay, so Justice in reverse, which is the corresponding card to Libra. So it could be Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. They could also be, or South or North Node. But this shows something that was unfair here. And I feel like this is more past energy, or things that just haven't felt equal or balanced in some way. It can represent legal issues of some kind as well, or someone could work in law or be studying law. Or work in the police force, or, you know, or there was some kind of injustice, okay, or fighting for justice. So I just have to put it out there because, you know, being a major arcana, it's a very important card. So let's see what else we have. Okay, 3 of Pentacles, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So this feels like there's something there wasn't gelling. Okay, either gelling between you. It could have been a work situation as well, but there's some off dynamic, almost with this person that maybe you met them, maybe they were your lawyer or somebody that you went to seek advice or you bought something from. Like, it even could be contracts. For some of you, it could be marriage contracts, or you live together, or some kind of a lease, or yeah, putting your names down on something, basically, is what it could be. It doesn't mean it necessarily, but I just have to say, especially with this energy here, so whether you work together, this could be an office romance of some kind, or almost that a sense of it, just there was a sense you couldn't work through this in some way. Sometimes this can indicate a third party energy. And yeah, Ace of Pentacles, so more energy of money and a connection to money, quite possibly. But yeah, it's either, I feel like maybe someone's message was rejected. Okay, this could be you could have reached out and they ignored you, or vice versa. Or it feels like it's taken a while. There was a big delay in receiving this information. Okay, so let's see what else is going on here. Okay, so we have new moon in, new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. A new start is coming, new moon. So 2 new moons here. So it could mean something's manifesting on the new moon. It could have manifested on the last new moon, quite possibly. Now, you know, new moons are all about a new start, a new beginning. The shadow period is over. Okay, so it's starting to get lighter and lighter leading up to the full moon and exposing things out. You know, that sometimes is the period where things will be revealed. So it may be a sense that they've been in hiding for a little bit of time, and by the new moon, which I think is very soon actually, I haven't actually checked where it is at this moment, but yeah, it's very close. I'm sure it's very close. But I mean, of course, this reading is timeless, so it could be the next new moon as to when you're watching this. But yeah, definitely, it's like there's something being hidden, but then I feel like after that period of darkness, there's going to be light, and they may appear. So Daughter Spirit, number 32. The 6th chakra. Man holding a heart in reverse. The world in reverse. Okay. I do feel this is a very spiritual connection, and this is a little similar to group 1s, I will say. So if you were drawn to group 1, there may be a message in there for you as well. But this is definitely an intuitive connection. Like, you connect on a telepathic level. You may have visions about this person. You may dream about them. You may see them in a meditation or something, or you just feel called to them in some way. And I sense that they feel the same way. Definitely. It could even have been a past life connection with that world energy in reverse, but a cycle that's going backwards here, or that a cycle that has come to a standstill at this moment. And the male energy here, I feel, is closed off emotionally. It's pushing their emotions down and is not wanting to deal with them or express them. Could be emotionally distant. Now, this doesn't mean, you know, this could be a female-female connection here, but, you know, there could be a male energy, possibly even a father figure or someone that was distant in, you know, either your life or theirs, that has caused some internal disruption. And it's like a domino effect here, and almost being attracted to the unavailable, you know, because that's what felt comfortable or natural. Some kind of abandonment here is what I'm feeling. Again, it could be with this person or in the past. But I do feel that you have spirit guides around you quite frequently and intensely. So you have a connection to spirit. You might be a natural medium, is what I'm picking up here. You know, you may have heard things, you may see things, hear ghosts, you know, maybe you speak to passed on ones, you may be into divination, working with tarot, working with pendulum, crystals. Yeah. But it feels, it just feels very spiritual. Like, you may dream about this person, they may dream of you. But there is a block. There is an emotional block here. And there's a physical block I'm feeling at this moment too. Okay, Father of Swords. So yeah, I definitely feel that this person is reserved. Just in their usual demeanour. They're very intelligent, maybe even a little bit cutthroat at times. I'm getting this ruthless energy. I feel like because they're very intelligent, they know a lot, but they may even be sometimes a bit of a know-it-all. But they'll also take their time, they're patient, they calculate. They're not someone that sort of jumps in or jumps out of things. They don't rush things. But this is the energy of something not working. Again, so it could be a sense of either you're out of work or they're out of work, you know, physically, you know, monetarily. But this could also be not working towards a connection here. But Yeah, we've got two men here. So this could be a male reading that I'm looking at here as well, because there's a lot of male energy coming through. But this also could be the sense within you, because we all have male and female energy within us. It's just what we're tapping into at that moment, and sometimes that can go out of balance as well by not balancing out the energies. That it can cause energetic blocks. So it definitely almost feels like there's a bit of a stalemate situation where you're both kind of thinking about each other or wanting to take action, but there's nothing actually happening here. Okay. Definitely thinking about each other, that's for sure. What are they thinking about you right now? Okay. And what are they wanting? What are their intentions for you? Oh. Whoa. What's the... Okay, crazy. Okay, this is intense. So I'll start with what they're thinking. What they're thinking here is, I don't know if this is their energy feeling bored or feeling restless, but this is definitely that in some connection to you, they're feeling like things are like they want out, okay? Just being honest. But then it's like they want out, so they push you down, they ignore you, but then it's like new energies. This could be your energy, so you could be very fire dominant and, you know, very open and like, let's make this work, you know, can we start again? But I do feel like this is within them as well. I feel like there's a physical attraction for you. And I feel like that's mutual. Okay, but here, I mean, this is pretty intense. So I will say this could be a third party energy. So if you know that there's an involvement with someone else, I would definitely be very careful and, you know, that this person is ready to let go and move on with this person. Okay, if this is something you know for a fact. Okay, and I just, you know, it might be hard to hear, but you know, I have to be honest with what I'm seeing. But this isn't necessarily that situation, because this could be with you. If you don't know of any other person, then there is a chance that this is you, because the death can represent an ending to the way things were, an ending to the mind games, an ending to the arguments, okay? Wanting to be set free of the toxic energy and wanting to come back together in this lover's energy here and just feel like you can connect again and just be together and be free like birds, okay? Not feel the pressure of other people or things going on externally. But then we do have the sun, which is in reverse. So this is why I'm saying this is intense, and this can show a negative outcome to the situation. But this is in terms of what their intentions are for you. So their intentions are a little all over the place, being honest. It seems like they're not really sure what they want. I feel they may even be living in a bit of a fantasy, and they want even to connect on a physical level, but they may not want any more at this time, okay? So I would say if they certainly do have passion for you, that is mutual, but as to whether they want any more than that, I think is very different. But I do again feel like that is changing. There is something in the mix here that is changing with all that new moon energy. Okay, 7 of Swords. Oh my goodness, okay. Oh my, what on, okay. I'm done, no. Group 2, I swear. What is going on? What is going on in your situation? I mean, seriously. 7 of Swords, this is lies and deceit. Okay. 3 of Swords, betrayal, stabbed in the back, third party energy, an affair, quite possibly. But then 2 of Cups, coming together and being so in love. and yeah, this has given me a headache. Honestly. I don't usually, this is hands up one of the craziest readings. It's just very, very intense and up and down. So in terms of, are you going to meet again? I feel like if you want to, that's a yes, absolutely. But is it going to be fulfilling? I mean, the thing is, 2 of Cups. I mean, that's one of the most positive love and romantic cards that you can get. And it shows a mutual love. So there's a mutual love, there's a mutual attraction, but but something isn't honest. Something is deceitful, or someone is being deceitful and is playing games or is not being truthful. So to get to this point and to go through all of this, I'm just wondering how it can really be sustained, you know? But I will get some more clarity for you. I'm just honestly pretty stumped with that energy. But, you know, nothing is impossible. It's just hard. It's going to be hard to trust this person, or for them to trust you if it was the other way around. But it's going to be hard to be able to let that go. Yeah, okay. It just, yeah, being honest, group 2, I feel like if you are able to let this person go, it may be best. It may be best. And, you know, I have to be honest, with Hangman being stuck in a situation that is out of balance, there's a lot of repressed either anger, aggression, or energy with other people or in your connection. A sense of, well, there was a possibility of some very dark times and depression that I'm seeing with this up and down, and it can be very trauma bonding, this type of relationship, with all this intensity as well. But ultimately I just feel like it's not stable, it's not secure, and I just don't feel like this situation is going to make you long-term happy. And I feel like maybe your spirit guides are calling you to let you know that. And, you know, I always like to think, even though I will pull all of the cards to see what comes through, but the first 3 cards usually speak the most, okay, about the situation and what's going on, and the fact that we have all of that imbalance, things not working, delays. It just feels like you're putting in all this work or effort, whether that's in person energetically or just thinking about it. It just feels like it's not going to bear the fruit that you wish or that you would hope. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and the relationship will magically transform. Twin flames, your passion ignites. Yes, this is 100% a twin flame connection. It's a roller coaster ride of emotion and passion, fights and arguments, breaking up and coming back together energy. It really is. But it is definitely a very transformative relationship. Transformative for yourselves on individual levels. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it allows and gives. So there could have been a controlling aspect to this connection. Again, if you have been in a relationship or dated, then there could have been a sense of trying to control them trying to control you. But if you haven't met this person, it could be a sense of trying to control the outcome of your connection, trying to control too much when you see them, or thinking about them too frequently in an obsessive sense. And, you know, being very critical, you know, there's a sense of definitely criticizing either one another or criticizing internally here. But this is for sure a transformative relationship, and you were meant to meet, because with that twin flame energy, it is supposed to be explosive and life-changing, because that's sometimes what needs to happen. In order for a big change to come in, then there needs to be a big change. There needs to be a big shift in your life. And that can be that can be the action from the manifestation that comes to fruition as well. When the manifestation comes true, sometimes it's a sense of being careful what you wish for, or just be very careful how you word sometimes your manifestations. Because if you're wanting big, huge changes and you're like, yeah, I'm willing to do anything, but you just don't know what those things might be. So always just be prepared for that, and be prepared that for big change to occur, you know, you have to put in those big changes within yourself. There has to be an overhaul internally, externally, financially, whatever it may be. There's got to be something that changes there. Whether, again, in your mindset, it could be as well. So soulmates. Money is coming. Be honest. Soulmate again. 12th house. Toxic. You are healing. So we have 2 soulmate cards here. So I'm almost getting the sense with you though, this is more, again, a twin flame relationship. So it's almost like I see your souls kind of separating to meet your soulmates, or like this, it's like you're coming into each other's lives as catalysts to meet your soulmates, if that makes sense. And I know it can be hard to hear though if you feel like this person is your soulmate, and maybe, you know, they are, and I can't tell you for certain whether someone is your soulmate or not. I just go with what I'm feeling. I'm feeling they're more of a twin flame, but again, that's what you go with, how you feel, okay? But I'm just saying with soulmates, you don't have toxic energy. There isn't, it's not toxic, it's not codependent, it's not abusive or up and down. It's not a roller coaster, it's calm, it's more based on a mature relationship, a friendship, a connection that you share, a level of respect and trust and attraction and everything. And it just flows. Not to say you never have issues, but it is more of an easy flowing relationship where you complement each other. Whereas twin flames, you're more sort of mirror images of one another. You can be very, very similar, but sometimes you can butt heads on how similar you are, and you may even just have very similar issues, past wounds and things like that, that you kind of attract each other like magnets. You come together and you both have these very similar issues, and it's like you come together and those issues become exposed, and that's what causes the issues in the relationship, and for it to become very intense, up and down. Both of you feel very insecure with yourselves and with each other, and it sort of, it goes one way or then the other. You both love each other very much as well, so it doesn't mean that there's no love there, but it's an unhealthy type of love and attachment. Okay, and especially with the 12th house, that can represent prisons and institutions, you know, the subconscious mind, the things that are hidden. It's Pisces energy as well. So it can be a little bit confusing, like there's a fog here. So maybe things are not all as they seem, okay? So more and more things may become exposed to you and revealed, but you are healing through this, okay? And I feel like you need to be honest with yourself and be honest with this person when and how and if you speak again. You know, that's down to you as well. That's your choice. You can manifest it. You can also let it go. Just letting it go and giving it space out there into the universe, letting it, the cards fall where they may. You know, a watched pot never boils. So it's something to always remember. If you're always watching that pot, it's not going to boil. So if you're always thinking about what it is you want, it's not going to manifest. So even if you need to give yourself dedicated time, I'm going to take the next 5 minutes just to think about what it is that I want, but then I let it go, set it and forget it, release it and let it go. And then we do have money coming. So this is something that's very positive, and I think that's going to give you a little bit of a boost. And I think that's something that you need. You've been working really hard and I feel like you deserve it. And I do feel like there's something karmic when it comes to this money situation, some karmic element, something that you're owed, something you paid too much for, you'll get a refund for, or, you know, tax rebate quite possibly, or it's going to be some kind of an unexpected money, a check in the post, or even sort of winning the lottery or something. And it doesn't matter whether it is or isn't, but I think it's always nice for me to say it because it gives it more power with words. So write down your money manifestations, say them out loud. Money is coming to me. I attract money easily and effortlessly through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am a money magnet. And you can do the same with love. I am a magnet for love. I am a magnet for healthy relationships. I have healthy boundaries. I'm attracted to healthy people, etc., etc. And you can always write them down in the comments here. You're always welcome to do so. Okay, so lastly, so we have sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. Ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, a new phase, preparing for union. The sword and the rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. Okay, one more. Oh my goodness, love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. Well, this has been a lovely, positive turnaround in the end for you, group 2. This is beautiful. Yeah, especially because this particular set of cards can sometimes be a little sinister, but this is nice. You know, the only thing I would say here, the sunglasses, the watching, stalking, gaslighting, you know, there could be that situation again if it's a twin flame connection here. That could be something that's still currently going on. Keeping an eye on each other. I definitely feel like that's mirrored energy. But there's positive things coming your way. I do see changes. So whether that's in your career or in your financial circumstances and also in your love life, I think that you're going to have more than one option. So I do feel like there is definitely a chance with this person, but whether you want to take it or not is a different thing, because I do feel like there's someone else that's going to come in that's going to be much healthier for you, somebody that you're going to have that real love, that oneness together, that unconditional love that you have not only for each other but for yourselves as well internally. It's more of a stable and more of that soulmate connection, yeah, and that's more so what I'm feeling, like your soulmate connection is coming. I feel like you need to be able to let go of the twin flame, but this is all your choice. Again, if you're set that this person is your soulmate, but if you're not sure of the differences, just look them up. Look up the differences and see which one you resonate with. And if you resonate with soulmate, then this is a very positive indication that you're going to come together here. You know, in love, you're going to ascend by being completely honest, okay, with each other. So if your feeling is that this is your soulmate who I'm talking about here, then the advice is to be very honest, to open up about how you feel, about what you want. You know, don't hold back, and, you know, just see what happens, because then you don't want to feel like you've left things unsaid, or that you could have said this or could have tried this. You want to feel like I've exhausted all possible options and I'm done. If we can't get on the same page, it's time to move on. Okay, that's the sense I'm getting. But if you are kind of feeling maybe you're right, this feels more like a twin flame relationship, then, you know, this is almost about being positive, being honest with yourself about, okay, what type of person do I really want to be with? How do I want to feel in a relationship? How do I want to be treated? I want to feel valued. That's surely something that, you know, we all want, is to feel valued and appreciated, respected. And you've also got to think, what do I have to offer? You know, what have I got on the table? Sometimes we're not able to see that. Sometimes it's hard for us to be able to really look at ourselves objectively as if we were, you know, someone else, saying, you know, what have you got to offer, you know, in return? And again, some people don't like to do that, and I understand. But it's very important, because if you're expecting a long list of things, you know, from somebody else, there's got to be give and take, equal give and take. Because for instance, if this person was giving you one of these amazing things that you wished for, but you were treating them like crap, you wouldn't then respect them. You'd say, oh, you're a walkover because I treat you like crap and you're doing all of these things. So, you know, there's got to be more toing and froing. There's got to be give and take for you to feel really happy and to respect the person that you're with. So, you know, making a list, you know, 2 lists of, this is what I can offer and give to a relationship, but this is what I want also, not to receive, but this is how I want to feel in a relationship. Okay? All right, so I'm going to leave the reading there. I do hope that this resonated for you, and if it did, please let me know down in the comments below, and please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done already. And if you're new here and you haven't yet subscribed, please feel free to hit that button, as well as the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. Okay, have a lovely rest of your day. Take care. Okay, so for those of you who chose group number 3 and the lovely yellow flower petal, will you meet again? Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. So this is a very positive card to receive first. Nice. Definitely taking a turn from the other 2. Certainly, well, one of them in the beginning. I won't give away which one. But interesting. So this seems to be like a wish fulfillment energy. So either this person is like your dream come true, or it can also mean keeping your options open. So maybe you have more than one. You could be dating multiple people or have lots of options in love. Okay, so we have the Strength card in reverse, card of Leo. So there may be something that you're feeling is a little bit weak. Maybe your connection with this person is weak. Maybe you don't feel like you've actually been able to meet this person. You could be online dating. For some of you, that's what I'm getting if you are single. And you're thinking, am I going to be able to meet this person in the flesh? Yeah, it's like there's a lot of balls up in the air is what I'm feeling. Okay, and then Three of Cups energy as well, so lots of water again. But this could be a, yeah, I'm sensing that there's this, either there's somebody else involved here, or there's like multiple dating. And I feel like almost on both sides, like both of you are almost seeing different people or wanting to see different people. But this can also be actually the very opposite energy of being very lonely and isolating themselves here. But I'm not too sure about that, but we'll see. So let's see what else is coming through here. About you meeting, will you meet up or will you meet again if you've already met before? Okay. Don't let pride get in your way. Oh, there we go. Full moon in Leo. Interesting. So definitely lots of Leo energy. Could be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury. Oh my God. Whoa. Okay. A lot of Leo here. New moon in Leo. Confidence is your key to success. Please put like a Leo, a line emoji or something in the comments if you are resonating with this Leo vibe, okay? Because you could be two Leos. You could have both have Venus in Leo as well. Or like I said, your moon in Leo or something, but you definitely have some strong Leo placements, and this is very mirroring energy, okay? And, you know, it could be a sense that you both have that very Leo look, you know, thick mane of hair, very dark, you know, hair or features, wanting to be out in the spotlight. You could both be in the spotlight in some way in your careers, or, you know, you always tend to be the center of attention in some way. Interesting, group 3. Okay, so then we have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. So yeah, things are definitely very malleable at this time. So I don't feel like you need to worry too much about the outcome of this, because things are definitely shifting and changing. This is definitely not an either definite yes or no, certainly not at this moment, but I will get more supporting cards. But I do feel like that there's more control and power that you have over this than you may realize. Okay. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups again, but that's in the upright this time. And then we have the Daughter of Wands. So a little bit of fire now. Well, no, actually not a little bit. We've got a lot of fire with all that Leo energy. Also Aries and Sagittarius. So yeah, I definitely feel like, oh, this could be a friend as well. This could be somebody that you just have a friendship with and you're wondering is this going to turn into something romantic, or it could even be a friend of a friend, a double date situation. Yeah, it's definitely, for some of you, it could be a third person's energy here, but it does feel like something just didn't get started almost. So you may have been interested in one another, but something either like a plan failed or something didn't go to plan or went awry. Okay, so we have Angel of Love. Strategy. Okay, yes. Okay, there's definitely a block within the sacral chakra. Sorry, sacral, not sacral. Solar plexus. There could be, seeing as I said it as well, because we do have a lot of orange here. So sacral is your emotional stability, your creativity, your sexuality. So for some of you, that could be something going on there. Also dehydration. But the main focus here is certainly the solar plexus, so which again is about your personal power and your ego, which is what Leo represents as well. Power, ego, your personality, being in the spotlight, either feeling overconfident or underconfident, depending on which way it swings. So, you know, you'll know which one you are and maybe which way this person goes. So there could be a level of putting on a bit of a front as well. So if the person has a bit of a bravado, or they put on this uber confident facade, that is exactly what it is. It's a facade, because they don't feel like that on the inside. It's just what they're doing to mask it. Okay, so sometimes the most confident people in this world are not the ones that are shouting it from the rooftops. They're not the ones that are telling everybody that they are. They are the ones that are more quiet, and they have that inner knowing that I'm confident, I'm secure in myself, no matter what that is about. It's a quiet confidence. It's not over the top outspoken. You can be outspoken and confident, but there's definitely an out of balance sense here, but it can be the other way and not feeling confident, not speaking up, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you have the power or control over either this situation or another. So that definitely needs balancing. So if you're able to do some chakra work, get some Reiki, if you've got a distant healer, someone you know. I've got someone I can recommend for distant healing as well. So always feel free to send me an email and I will pass on her information. Okay, victory in reverse. The thinking man. Daughter spirit. Very spiritual readings today. Okay, spiritually connected in a sense that the couples that I'm talking to are definitely spiritually connected in many ways, but I feel people that are drawn to these readings tend to have, you know, a very spiritual side most of the time, I would say. But yes, the thinking man, I do feel like there's a sense of thinking very much, overthinking quite possibly, but I don't think that it's an overdrive with this strategy energy. One of you could have some strong Virgo placements as well. I definitely see this analytical side of things and kind of preparing and planning, and that's almost the stage that I feel like this situation is at. It's kind of in a more preparing and planning. It seems less intense and certainly than the other ones, I think, going forwards. This seems more relaxed. It seems more like friends type of energy. As I said, there are some weaknesses and blockages here and something that feels like it's just kind of failed, but it doesn't feel over the top, like as if you've had this really tumultuous relationship. It does feel a little bit more casual, shall I say, at this moment. So it doesn't mean that it won't turn into more or that it wasn't, but certainly I feel more so. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of history here. Okay, the Lovers in reverse. Hermit in reverse. Whoa. The Moon in what the... Okay, crazy, 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 crazy. I thought this was being quite stable, but, well, okay. I'll tell you what I see. Well, first of all, we have the card of Gemini, we have Virgo, and we have Pisces here, and then more fire. Now, the Lover's energy is a sense of being split. There's a separation, so it could even be a separation by distance, physical distance, by water, is what I'm seeing for some of you. There may be water in between you at times. But yeah, it could be more of an emotional distance as well, and just either not speaking. But then I feel like the period where there's been nothing happening and it's been very stagnant energy, or you've not heard from them, they've been very quiet or introverted. This could be your energy as well. I feel like they're going to emerge from their shell. They're going to open back up. They're going to be more receptive to your energy here. And there's a sense with something with the Moon here, like something may be revealed. It can be a time that secrets can be revealed, especially leading up to the full moon. Things can become exposed that were hidden in the new moon period. So I feel like there's something that is being revealed, but it can also be sometimes a block in intuition or something going on there on an emotional level. But yeah, I definitely feel like things are starting to take a turn. So where it feels like it's been kind of stuck, and again, it's kind of like you both are at, and I've used this word a lot today, I know, I apologize, but stalemate. But that's tends to be the energy, you know, that's happening right now. There's definitely this energy of who makes the first move, or I've made a first move, so I'm not going to make, you know, I'm not going to make any more. I'm going to wait for them, and etc., etc. It just feels like, yeah, things have not been changing, but I definitely feel there is a change on the horizon here. So something is going to shift, and almost like I see this is like a lightning bolt here. You know, something is going to happen, and it's going to be really quick as well. So whether that's quick communication, or there's a quick chain or turn of events here, it's imminent, I am feeling. Okay. Be honest, that has come out a lot today as well. The 10th house. Well, that makes sense, even though it's not technically Leo's sign, but that's what I see with the 10th house. This Leo, again, likes to be in the spotlight, because it can be the house of fame and fortune, but it's definitely about career. So maybe that you two have met through your career, or that you either had a very... Again, I'm definitely seeing online dating for some of you. definitely, or a fairly large group of you. But for the others of you, it's not online dating, but maybe like an online presence or being known for something, either of you or both of you. Maybe even like you met through your social media or something. Soulmates, and that one has come out a lot today as well. So yeah. Oh my god, soulmate again. I don't know, yeah, what's going on today. But I don't know if you guys watched the one where I think it was the career one and the fire brigade one kept coming out, and sometimes it's just like they're attracted, I swear. Again, it's law of attraction, makes sense. Okay, so interesting. We have avoid this energy, we have toxic, I would say the negative connotations here, but then we have soulmate, be honest, listen to the signs. Yeah, and the fact that even be honest, I didn't even turn it back around again. So it shows that there's a level of keeping things quiet, not being very expressive with the truth. Okay, on your side or theirs, and maybe both. It feels like more so it's both. There may have been an olive branch that was extended, but either it's not being received, accepted, or it just like things are just on pause, it seems, at this moment. But you are receiving some signs, so that's something that you need to make sure you're being in tune to. And you may not know the direct correlation of the sign to what it's pointing to, but you can just note those signs, because they will all become apparent, you know, the reasoning for them in the end. Sometimes it's right afterwards that you're like, oh yes, that is why that happened. So, but it's still interesting to note. But there are signs. Sometimes you can get a feel for it though, especially if it's something that's very, if it's a sign that's really over the top intense and kind of shocking, then that's usually an indication that that's the type of thing that's about to happen. So, you know, not to put any fear into you, or, you know, and I'm not saying that's what's going on here for you right now, because that's not what I'm saying, but it's just as an example. At least you can be aware that, okay, something might change. So, I mean, maybe this is just the strong Virgo within me. I'm like, what can I plan and prepare to do if something's going to occur? And I feel like maybe I'm not going to feel my best. You know, I'll work extra hard for however long and do all these extra things. So when the time comes, I can relax. And that's what makes me feel better. But each to their own, of course. Sometimes people like to be prepared. Sometimes you just rather see what happens. And yeah, I mean, each to their own. And I think it's good to have a mixture of that and not to get too hung up on what's about to happen, and just let things happen, because everything you're going to be learning from anyway, whether it's good or bad, you're going to be learning through all of these things that do occur. But I am seeing with that toxic avoider energy that, you know, this could be something that, you know, was from the past here. This could be an energy of either one of you dealing with someone else. It could be an ex, okay, one of you is dealing with that is a very toxic situation. So it may be a sense of not wanting to get involved in that situation if they're still entwined in that, because it's just going to be messy. If there's still communication or feelings left over, then it's just not worth it until that they have completely removed that attachment. They've detached and let go of that person, and then they're free. And the same with you as well. It's hard to give someone else a new chance if you're still hooked onto someone else. So, you know, if that's what's going on here, that's a sense of avoid the energy. Just avoid the energy for now and just give it time. Let things happen naturally and don't force anything to move forwards here. Okay, but it could also be the element of avoiding the energy of trying either too hard or wanting things to move faster, you know, or not actually taking any action or making any moves because of a lack of confidence here. So by actually being honest with yourself, being authentic to what you want and who you are, you'll be able to avoid any negative energy that you might be manifesting and putting into this connection. You know, kind of realizing, why is it that I like this person? What is it about this person that I like? Could I not find that quality in someone else? Will I be okay without that person if I never got with that person again? Or if I never got to meet that person, would it be okay? Yes. If somebody else came along, would I accept? If somebody else came along that was better as well, better in every way. I mean, it's very hard to answer that sometimes when you're very much in love with someone else, because it's impossible to almost see it. But time helps. And just recognizing the qualities that the person that you like or adore, you will find those qualities in someone else, but you'll also find qualities that you like that they don't have, okay? The things that they're lacking. you could find somebody that has the qualities that you wish and embodies all the other things that you wish this other person had. You know, the reason why you two are either not together or coming together. So this is all working in divine timing for you. And I just feel at this moment you need to trust the process. Cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Not enough. Frustrated in a relationship, lacking of confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues, and jealousy. Yeah, ego issues, there we go. Jealousy. Yeah, so there could be a sense of being jealous of this person, of the attention they receive, or vice versa. They could be jealous of you and the attention you receive, because it definitely feels like you both have other options. That's the thing, and that's what might be difficult, because I think you're both very attractive in a conventional way. I think a lot of people find you physically attractive, and that you could have your pick almost, both of you. So, but it's almost, but again, you're very much mirroring each other in that energy. You could both have that, but that's why it's so special as well when you come together, because you choose to be with one another. Oh my God, soulmates, soul connection, partnership, agreement, and soul contract. Yeah, this feels the closest to a soulmate relationship that I've done in the readings today. This feels like it to me. There's a reason for it. There is a reason you're brought together, whether that's you come together and you two are soulmates, or whether coming together is the catalyst to meet your soulmate. Sometimes you meet your soulmate through someone else. Like, it's like the butterfly effect. If you didn't meet and be with this other person, you may not have been in the same situation or circumstance to then meet this next person. It's crazy when you think about it like that, but it's very, very true. But I'm getting more so, and I think that you guys will know. I mean, if this person has been in and out, shake it all about for months, years on end, then, you know, and nothing's changing, then I don't feel like that message is for you. But if this is someone that you've not really met yet, you're not sure, you've got good feelings about them, and there's no real animosity, just maybe some, like I said, ego issues or confident issues to work through, then I feel like this message is for you, and this person may well be your soulmate. Okay, so we have heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad and separation, breakup and feeling lost, grieving and mourning. So one of you could be going through, could have suffered a loss. You could be grieving the loss of a person, in death, of a pet, of a job, a breakup, a situation that really came to a close, and it was very, very painful for you. And it may be this experience that even brought you two together. Something about that experience has shaken you and made you want to change. You know, realizing that you need to feel like you are enough in a relationship, because I feel your confidence, and both of you, I feel like your confidence was shaken for a long time by other people in the way that they treated you. There was a lot of lies and deceit here I can see in the past, and this is where this outdated thinking is coming from, because it's like you have almost been used to that type of toxic relationship and energy of just feeling like you weren't good enough. And when you meet each other, it's like there isn't any of that. Like, you both complement each other and you work so well together, and you value each other. So it's a sense of removing that old way of thinking that everybody is a cheater or a liar, or they're going to walk away, or nothing's going to happen. It's almost like letting that go and pressing rewind, start, you know, wipe the slate clean, record over that bit. Now, you may not want to do that. It's nice to have memories though, because you don't want to actually erase the work that was done, but you can remove certain parts. If you don't want to think about it, you just release it, let it go. It's like a tug of war. You know, think about that with your thoughts. When you're obsessing about something, you know, that thought is winning. You know, it's sucking you into it. It's pulling you into that obsession or that addiction. But the best thing to do, if you let go, you stay stood up still, and whatever that thing is that's pulling you is the one that flings back. Don't give it the power even to put any focus on letting it go. Just release it. Open up your hands and let it go. Stabbed in the back. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, this is that energy of being stabbed in the back, heartbroken, all of those awful, awful things that, you know, a lot of people and most people in life will experience this in some form. But I feel that this was something that was very, very raw, and this is almost what's made you both close off. Okay, close off from love, close off from each other, and moving things forwards. Beautiful. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, for the last card, making healthy choices in love and in life, a self-love, a self-care, being happier. Yes. So you may be on some kind of new nutritional plan or exercise regime. You may be, really making those healthy choices even when it comes to addictions, or things that you were doing, bad habits or things that weren't good, and negative thought cycles, obsessive thoughts, stalking, whatever it might be that felt it was very draining. It's like you're making those healthy choices, and by doing that, you're then attracting healthy things into your life. And if you choose to live in an unhealthy way consistently, you're going to attract more of that unhealthy, more the unhealthy things to come into your life. And the same goes for people. Okay, if you are healthy within yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally, you are going to attract somebody of the same mindset and caliber. Okay, if you are in an unhealthy mindset, your body is unhealthy, you feel like crap, you're going to attract like attracts like. Okay, so if you're able to get some things under control, which I do see you doing, you are making those decisions, and they only have to be small things, little tiny changes that you make every day, and those are the things that count. Those are the things that make up the bulk of your day. You break it down into micro sessions, minutes, which blend into hours, into days. But you've got to think about those choices you're making on a minute by minute basis, rather than thinking about the big picture. Write down your to-do list for the day, of what you would like to achieve and get done, but just work minute by minute. Right, this is what I'm going to do now, and then we'll see when I'm finished this what we're going to do after, etc. Just move it forward. The same with these thoughts. If you feel yourself slipping into a place of old insecurity, and an old wounds are getting exposed, and this is where you feel like you need to pull and suck someone in again, or I just need to hear from them once more, or I just need to get that validation, that's kind of, then it's a negative thing again that you're doing to receive some validation. So if you let it go and actually watch how it will fling back, like the boomerang effect, see, it will come back to you. If you throw it out there, it will come back, but it just may not come back exactly when and how you want it. And the more you wish for it to come back, the longer it'll take to come back. So this is definitely about letting go, as well as putting in that positive work and manifestation. So okay, I'm going to leave the reading there. I hope that this resonated for you, group 3, and if it did, please let me know down in the comments below, and please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading today. And if you are new here, welcome. Thanks so much for watching. Please feel free to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post a new video. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care.